What's going on, folks? Eddie here. I hope you're having a fantastic day. So today I'm back down at Torque Motorsports. We have a couple things that need to get done. I'm hoping the transmission shows up today. If it doesn't, not a big deal. At least we know it's in the mail. So I got a couple things to do anyways. So one of the things I'm going to do is install these coilovers that are sitting in front of me, and then we're going to do a couple more pieces on the engine to get ready for putting that thing into the car. Let's go get these things installed. Nuts on the struts. I think I said this in the last video when I did coilovers on this car, but yeah, they leave you no room to get in there. Like, I guess if you were to get this metal shield out of the way, it'd be easier, but who wants to do that? Okay, so we started getting the rear suspension out. Time to start putting some of the components in. So yeah, I guess we're doing an unboxing video now. All right, so here are the ST XTA coilovers once again for the Fiat 124 Spider and the Abarth. I feel like I'm duplicating myself. Okay, let's do this. Coilovers are in the car now. The thing needed to be lowered. So you might be wondering why I wanted to put the coilovers in at this point in time before putting the new engine in. Reason being is it's very likely that we're going to have to cut into the strut towers in order to fit the new engine. So in order for that to work, we need to have a smaller diameter spring inside the strut towers. And the stock Fiat springs, they're relatively wide. And a coilover spring is much thinner. So that'll give us more room, so if we do need to cut in the strut towers, we'll have plenty of room. And really, I'm just making excuses for putting coilovers in my car. But look at the thing. Before we start pulling the valve covers off the new engine, I'm going to give John a quick hand putting a transmission onto an LS motor. This is kind of cool. John's been LS swapping a 350Z all day. That's the old 350 engine. That's a 350's transmission. which we're gonna mate to this 5.3 liter LS. This is the same LS motor that we used to compare to the Giulia engine a couple weeks back. All right, let's help him get this thing on there. Okay, so this thing's at least sitting in the car. That's kind of cool. Here, take a look at this thing. It's inspiring, considering what we're about to do. Now, this I thought was particularly crazy with this engine. Check out this throttle body. Here it is. I'll use my head as a size reference. That's a big ass throttle body. That's badass. This is a Holley Sniper EFI throttle body. This thing's being converted from drive-by-wire to cable operated.
Don't have a reliable system for cable operation.
That's a technical version. Really? Drive-by-wire sucks. This is awesome.
No, drive-by-wire is awesome. They just don't have a reliable way to tune it.
You really like drive-by-wire?
Anti-lag, rolling two-step. Yeah.
Fair enough. I never thought about that.
Yeah, you can do some pretty cool stuff. The other neat thing about drive-by-wire, traction control. Instead of ignition, push the throttle.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Yeah, okay. Lots of cool features for drive-by-wire, but in this application, drift car, I don't think traction control is going to be on the list of
no,
things.
That doesn't matter. Yeah, either way, super cool. Just makes me want to see my engine in my car.
Oh.
I think we're about a week and a half off that still.
Pardon?
At least. We're at least a week and a half off that still.
Yeah. I'm going to probably give it 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
It's going to make it a huge push for the retail.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what do you think I'm going to big push to get all this stuff done?
So we can go work on my car?
You do understand, you got 6 engines in the truck.
Yeah.
So,
but this is also why I've been coming down so much. I want to be able to get my hands in and help. For those who don't realize, when I come down to Torque, it's a 3-hour drive crossing a border going between 2 countries. It's great.
I haven't had this for 6 weeks now.
What's that LSD for?
The LSD for the Stinger.
That's for the Stinger?
Yes.
Anyhow, all right. Let's go pull off those valve covers. It's kind of hard to see from the images, but there's a decent amount of valve cover exposed on the engine. It's not quite as much wiring covering it as you'd expect. Mind you, there's quite a few things we're gonna have to dig off here in order to get the valve covers off. Where's my motivation? Let's do this. Okay, so we've got most of the stuff off of the one bank on the engine. Looks like it's in pretty good shape. I found one broken part on the engine. It looks like it's a VVT solenoid of some kind. Yeah, it looks like it was just kind of shoved back in there. Fortunately, the engine comes with a warranty, so I will try and get this warranted and keep going. Either way, it's not going to hold us up right now. Okay, we've had to hit a hard stop. So if you're watching this and you own an Alfa Romeo Giulia QV or a Stelvio QV, allow me to introduce you to a couple concepts about your car. When you bought yourself one of these things with the 2.9 TT, which I love and is still going in the 124, you also bought yourself some of the things that make Ferraris have engine out services. Let's take a look at why. So you can see here that we started taking the valve covers off. Now, we got stuck. And reason being is if we go around to the back of the engine, turn the engine. Okay. This is where the timing chain is. The timing chain is on the back of the engine. It's not on the front. Now, the timing chain cover is attached to this part that connects to the transmission. We touched on this in the last episode, talking about needing a different plate to connect the transmission. Now, when I said that we need to change that plate, it's literally these pieces here, so the timing chain covers on both sides, and the part the transmission connects to. That is one piece. So if you ever have to have your timing chain done in your QV, engine out. If you have a valve cover leak, engine out. So anything that involves going into the valve covers, engine comes out of the car. You have no choice. There's no way to do it otherwise. So we're gonna have a hard stop right there. What we're gonna do is when the other plate arrives that fits the other transmission, we're gonna have to pull this all apart anyways. So when we do that, that's when we'll do the valve covers. But for now, this has been more of an education than anything else. And one other really cool thing about the engine, it keeps looking more and more and more Ferrari-like. This thing is so similar, it actually hurts. So take a look at the valve covers here. Now, while you're looking at the valve covers, that's nothing remarkable. But now look at this picture of the valve covers off of a Ferrari 488. You see some similarities here? Okay, so that's about as far as we can go today. I'm exhausted, John's exhausted. I just really want to call it a day. So next week we know the transmission's here and we'll also have the starter. So next week we're going to start the engine with the starter just to be absolutely sure there's nothing going on. We already know there's a couple little things that have to be replaced on the engine, like those VVT solenoids that I showed you earlier. Either way, once that starter's here, we can actually test it. We can make sure everything's okay. The engine looks great. It doesn't look like there's going to be any real issues. I'm pretty sure that all that happened to that one piece was it got knocked in shipping, so it's really not a big deal. Anyhow, so we'll call it there, folks. Don't forget, if you want to stay up to date with this build, hit that like button, hit the subscribe, and if you want to get the notifications letting you know when an episode comes out, make sure you hit that little bell, because apparently you need to basically hit 2 subscribe buttons to get notifications. But anyhow, all right, folks, take care. I'll see you next time, and have a good week. Later.